Hello and welcome to Gadget Joe, and today we take a look at Thermaltake's Riing Plus 12 RGB fans. The Thermaltake Riing fans have been around for quite some time now, offering great customization for colours within your system by an RGB light around the fans that could be changed and sequenced via a controller for some fantastic effects. However, the new series of RGB Riing fans have taken customization to the next level, presenting the Riing Plus fans. The RGB Plus fans work very similarly to the previous variants in the fact that they too come in at 120mm or 140mm. They have a traditional 120 by 120 by 25 dimension, the same cushioned feet on the edges for mounting, albeit slightly different shape, offering the same anti-vibration mounting systems. The similarities end there however, as the new Riing Plus fans have done away with the previous 7-fin design and now have 9 blades designed to increase airflow and balance. Thermaltake have done away with a single lighting tube and opted for 12 individually addressable RGB LEDs, all mounted within a slightly frosted plastic coating that distributes the light more efficiently. These new LEDs mean that there are now a whole host of extra lighting options and customizations available, as I will show you shortly in the video. For now, let's look at the box itself and see what you get with your new Riing Plus fans. The fans come in a triple pack with a small yet surprisingly weighty box. The packaging is very similar to the previous Riing fans, with lots of colourful graphics and plenty of information. Opening the front allows a small preview window, so to speak, of the fans and a sample of the software and some of the lighting options to the left. System compatibility and details can be found along the back and sides. Opening the box, we have the 3 Riing Plus fans. Aesthetically, they look very nice and they have a very well built, sturdy feel that fits in nicely with the premium name tag they carry. The cables are nice and long, much longer than previous series, meaning that fan placement and freedom is at a maximum. An added bonus are that the cables are even braided, so they really won't look out of place in your system. You then have the newly designed PWM digital fan hub controller. This is a much cleaner, simpler looking hub that will look nice and discreet in your build. You also get a couple of sealed bags that house the assorted fan screws for mounting the fans either to a case or to a radiator, a velcro sticky pad that can be used for sticking the controller to the case, a PWM header socket cable with dual micro USB connector leads for connecting the controller to the motherboard, a Molex power pin connector, and last but not least, the short daisy chain connector that allows you to connect one controller to another to synchronise them. Setting up the fans is super easy too, and can be done by even the most inexperienced of users. You simply mount the fans into their location within the case and feed the cables through the back of the motherboard or case. You then connect the fan headers into the controller as you see here. You then connect this sync cable into this slot and the PWM header cable onto the relevant pins on the motherboard. Last but not least, to supply power to the unit, you connect the Molex power connector to this port, and then connect your Molex power to this. Mount the controller and install the Thermaltake software, which isn't included within the box, but it's available on the Thermaltake main website. It's important to download the Riing Plus RGB software, not the Riing RGB software, to correctly operate the fans and lighting. To connect another controller via the daisy chain technique, it is very important that you use this smaller connector and connect it here, and then use the micro USB to connect to an additional box to add more fans and controllers. Now let's move on to the part that you've been waiting for, and that of course is the lighting modes. As you can see, the 3 fans are currently lit up with a solid colour. The software itself has had a bit of a facelift from the previous versions, and there are much more options available. The interface is nice and intuitive and shows 3 tiles on the front that represent each fan. As you can see, they go from 1 through to 3 and will control each fan individually. At the top left of the screen you will see multiple blocks with numbers, and these indicate the number of controllers connected. To the right you have 5 profiles that can be preset to 5 different profiles for quick changes. Moving back to the tiles, you have fan speed in the top left in this grey circle. It shows the RPM of each fan in real time, and these can be adapted to become slower for quieter operation or faster for more performance. You can click on the performance bubble to set it as it is, or alternatively silent, which will then stop the fan spinning at a certain speed to keep the sound down. Finally, clicking PWM will then allow the fans to spin at a higher speed. These fans have a top speed of around 1500 RPM. Now that you have this sorted, you can start to work on the colours and patterns of the lights. As you can see, there are 3 full colour spectrum discs on each tile. This represents the possible combinations that can be selected, and you'll certainly be spoilt for choice with up to 16.8 million colours available. The first light mode you see here is called Thermal. Thermal will set the fans to glow relevant to the system temperature. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to turn fan 1 and 2 off so that you can see the effects a little bit better. You can turn the lighting off the fans by clicking the light bulb here. Now that we've covered the basics of the software, let's get on to the light modes themselves. You can toggle through the different modes via this button right here. You can then change the lighting from single mode to RGB mode via this here, and the speed of said mode via this button here. A little note for those that have dual colour builds or builds with more than one colour in general is that you can on some of the modes select individual LEDs to reflect individual colours, as you can see here, for that added bit of personalisation. During the time of recording this video, Thermaltake released a new software and firmware version. This version is 1.1.4 and will be available on the Thermaltake drivers page, which I will link below, so that if you already own the fans you can download it from there. Newer stock of the fans will come with this preloaded. The new firmware and software delivers a few little changes too, by not only fixing a few bugs, but also by adding some extra lighting modes. You can access these via the new S menu button at the top right, as you see here. Clicking this opens a separate window with another RGB spectrum wheel on it and 3 list titles to the left. Straight away it is set to no light mode, which turns the lights of the fans off completely. Click the light mode to the right and you have a mode called Shooting Star, which, as the name suggests, displays a light effect that resembles a shooting star going across the sky. As before, you can change the different speeds. Currently it's set to RGB, but you can change it to single lighting mode, and true to form you can change the colour of said single LED on the wheel. Move right again and you can get black hole. This is almost a polar opposite of a shooting star effect by being completely lit up, but a single LED shooting through them all. Yet again, the speed and colour modes can be changed. Moving next to perhaps the most enticing new light show, and that is the Aurora, which, as you can see, creates a stunning light show of the fans with the usual speed controllers. However, you can change to single mode, but it doesn't really do anything to change the effects on the fans. To go back, you simply click the X on the top right. And that pretty much wraps up my in-depth and detailed unboxing and review of Thermaltake's fantastic Riing Plus RGB fans, and they certainly do deliver on all aspects. They are solid, sturdy and well built with a very premium look and feel. They are heavy too, so they feel like they could withstand a knock or two, although we certainly don't recommend throwing your fans around. The software is much cleaner and certainly easier to use. The colour patterns and combination are endless and look fantastic and will really complement your build, especially those with tempered glass cases, and will certainly give your build that wow factor. The individually addressable LEDs make it super easy to personalise, and the support for daisy chaining controllers to allow even more fans mean that even the biggest builds can be catered for. That's why I'm pleased to give the Riing Plus RGB Premium fans by Thermaltake our very first Gadget Joe Gold rating with 4 stars. I will leave a link in the description to where you can order your own set of fans, and while you're here don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you liked this video, and click subscribe for much more content like this. And that's it from me for now, so until the next video, it's goodbye for now.